Hello everyone, today I'll be talking about super predators on land over the years. Now I made a previous video about super predators in the sea, but today it's going to be about predators on land. So, let's begin, shall we? This is Ankylosaurus, a non-mammalian synapsid. People often don't know about this animal, but it was the top predator of the Permian period. So, the Ankylosaurus basically ruled over everything. I would say it's the T-Rex of the Permian period, but really, the T-Rex is the Ankylosaurus of the Cretaceous period, because Ankylosaurus came first. Ankylosaurus was actually very powerful in its time, because it reigned over all the other species. They were terrified of adult Ankylosaurs. And often you hear about other predators of the Permian period, like Dimetrodon, a synapsid with a sail on its back. But however, Ankylosaurus is probably one of the most dangerous. It had really long teeth that were extremely powerful and capable of biting into deep hides. They had massive legs as well, so they stood upon those stocky legs and they were four-legged, which means they could run very fast and they could sense you very easily. So this is certainly a predator that you would not want to come into contact with. Now it is time for a predator from the Jurassic period. Now, I know some people might be expecting me to talk about Allosaurus, which is probably one of the most famous predators from the Jurassic period. But today I'm going to be talking about a more underrated dinosaur from that time period, and that is even more powerful than the Allosaurus, and could possibly have rivaled it. And that animal is the Torvosaurus. Now this dinosaur is certainly something to be feared, because it was basically kind of like a super predator dinosaur with really sharp teeth, and it was kind of related to the Allosaur in the Allosaur family, and it was the biggest predator in the Jurassic period on land. So the Torvosaurus preyed on things like sauropods, such as Camarasaurus, Brachiosaurus, Apatosaurus, Diplodocus, things basically that it could reach in its time, usually young sauropods. It also could have preyed on stegosaurs, which also existed in its time, and these stegosaurs would probably fall victim to the Torvosaurus quite easily because they were quite slow and the Torvosaurus would easily be able to catch up to them. Now the Torvosaurus could actually reach up to maybe around 11 meters in length, is its maximum as we know of. So that is quite massive. That is even bigger than the Allosaurus. So certainly you would not want to mess with this guy, not even an adult Allosaurus. And now it is time to get onto the Cretaceous period. Now, I've just covered the Jurassic period, which is when the dinosaurs were just like flourishing. And now it's time for the Cretaceous period, when the dinosaurs were at their peak before they got their extinction with the asteroid. And this is the Tyrannosaurus Rex. Now, you may often see things like, oh, this carnivorous dinosaur was even more dangerous than the T-Rex, or like more powerful than the T-Rex. First of all, it could not be more powerful than the T-Rex because the T-Rex is the largest carnivorous dinosaur by body mass and also has the strongest bite force. The T-Rex could not possibly be any less dangerous than any carnivore. First of all, they are thought to have padded feet, which means that you couldn't hear them unless they wanted you to hear them, but you could sense them in a way. So this is especially terrifying because the T-Rex is literally the biggest carnivorous land predator to ever exist. That's something most people didn't know, because in Jurassic World you think, oh, the T-Rex is really, really big and you could probably hear it coming, but you'd still be very scared. It could just be silent at night like a wolf, which is especially chilling to hear about this dinosaur. T-Rex could basically prey on anything it wanted. Like I said, it is the Ankylosaurus of the Cretaceous period. It would prey on sauropods and even ankylosaurs as well, and could probably feast on the carcasses. It could scavenge as well. But people think it may have been a scavenger, but this is quite unrealistic because the T-Rex had these bone-crushing jaws, was extremely fast, extremely powerful for many different reasons. And it is also a rival of the Triceratops, which is another large animal during the period of the Cretaceous. So yeah, it doesn't get much more deadly than the T-Rex. Now, it is time to talk about a mega-sized snake from the Paleocene. So this snake is called the Titanoboa, and it is actually quite famous. It has preyed on fish and crocodiles in its time, and possibly other reptiles as well. So there is often lots of art depicted about Titanoboa preying on crocodiles and things like that, which it most likely did prey on prehistoric crocodiles. So this snake was very dangerous and it could constrict a human being easily. And this snake probably weighed like around a ton in weight. So that is just really a big snake. It's basically an oversized green anaconda at this point. Now this is definitely not one for people who are scared of snakes. This snake obviously did not have venom because really big snakes don't usually have venom, and it was a constrictor. And now, Megistotherium. It was a hyenodont, and it lived during the Miocene. So Megistotherium lived in Africa, and they're often, I've seen pictures of them that have glowing eyes that look really terrifying, and that's what it must have been to encounter them at night. Humans didn't exist then, but it's still really, really scary. Megistotherium is bigger than any big cat today, and probably even rivals the size of big grizzly bears or polar bears, just because of how powerful it is as well. So, if you saw this thing, you'd probably want to make your way away very quickly. And finally, Smilodon, the famous saber-toothed cat. Now, this actually existed probably during the time that humans were around, so if you saw it, you'd probably need your entire group to take it down. This cat had some very powerful teeth. You would not even see it coming because it could go up and climb up in trees. It would be absolutely camouflaged in those trees, and that's something that you probably have to watch out for. Smilodon is thought to be very agile, and it's probably slightly bigger than tigers today. So, in terms of size, yeah, you could probably see the difference. Although Smilodon may seem powerful, it only had 2 really big teeth that it would use to gash wounds in it. Although it did have lots of smaller teeth, but those weren't as strong as its massive 2 canines. And it would be very, very painful to be injured by one of those, that's the least I can say. Smilodon lived during the Pleistocene epoch, which is when our ancestors were around, and that is the final extinct predator on this list. So, if you made it this far, thank you for watching. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video, and we'll see you next time.